Great morning to you guys. Thanks for joining me for another Christmas devotion in this Christmas holiday season. And I'm so excited to share God's word with you today and really make it feel like a joyous time this Christmas. Today's devotion is titled True Worship. And my question to you is, what is true worship and how can you lead your family to worship through obedience, right? Let's read from Isaiah 58, 6-9. Here's what it says. Is not this kind of fasting I have chosen to loose the chains of injustice and untie the cords of the yoke, to see the oppressed free and break every yoke? Is it not to share your food with the hungry and to provide the poor wanderer with shelter, when you see the naked to clothe him and not to turn away from your own flesh and blood? Then your light will break forth like the dawn, and your healing will quickly appear. Then your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. Then you will call, and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help, and he will say, Here I am. What is true worship? Is it singing songs and going to church every Sunday, or is there more? Jesus said in John 4:23-24, a time is coming and has now come when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. God is spirit, and his worshipers must worship him in spirit and in truth, right? So it's so important to truly worship God in this holiday and in this Christmas season. As Christians, we want to be the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. Those who worship in spirit and in truth. But how do we do that? We can certainly worship the Lord on Sundays at church, but the God who saved us deserves much more than that. Just like the Israelites who had special days of worship and fasting set aside each year, we have a special day for worship set aside in our week. We take that time to go to church, study God's word together, and worship him with his people. But what about the rest of the week? How do we live our lives as soon as we leave church on Sunday? You know, the focus of today's devotion is really encouraging you to spend some time in worship. Now, if you've never worshiped before, worship is simple. You can start off by thanking God, saying, God, I want to take some time. I just want to thank you and reflect on the blessings that you've given me in my life. Thank you for good health. Thank you for waking me up today, because Thanksgiving is a part of worship. There's many aspects of worship, but Thanksgiving is a part of worship. You know, you sometimes if you're not accustomed to worshiping, you can go on YouTube and find a great Christmas song like, Oh, Come Let Us Adore Him. And there's so many different versions, and just play it and sing along to it. Give God worship, give him praise, give him adoration. You know, spend some time adoring your Creator. Spend some time worshiping him for who he is and not just what you can get from him. See, his word says he will supply all of your needs according to his riches and glory. But it's not about you saying, I want to worship you because of what you can give me. No, you have to say, I want to worship you for who you are. I want to be a true worshiper that pleases you, that despite my situation, that despite my circumstance, I will stand up and I will praise your name, God, that I will praise you in the good times and in the bad times. I'll praise you on the mountaintop, but I'll also praise you in the valley. You have to understand that your worship should not be determined by your situation and your circumstance. You don't just give worship and praise because something is good. If you're in a relationship and it's going bad, does that negate your love for the other person? If it does, you should not be in that relationship. But you should love someone despite how they treat you. You should love them because that's who you are. And in return, you should love God, right? In the same manner, you should love God because of who he is. Love him because that's who you are and how he created you to love despite what others do to you. Think of how many times you've messed up and he still loves you over and over, right? That's true worship. Worship in spite of whatever you face. So this Christmas season, take some time every day. Play a little Christmas praise song or Christmas worship song. Get into the holiday season. Maybe when you're wrapping your gifts, play some nice, soft Christmas instrumentals, right? And really listen to the words and the lyrics, and take some time and truly give God adoration, worship, thanksgiving, and praise, because he deserves it all. Guys, have an awesome day today. God bless you. Take care.